where you make today, if you're in this business, than any other day it's business. And you know what? That is called what? Capitalism. It's like I can sell you today what I couldn't just have sold you yesterday or 2 days ago for 10 times more.
And supply and demand.
You believe in supply and demand?
I mean, yeah, it works. Do I believe in it? It's real.
Supply and demand is real? If supply and demand was real, then you out there wouldn't be losing so much money in your stocks.
I don't really do stocks.
It's the whole concept of supply and demand.
We're talking about real. Let's see something here.
All right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. So, yeah, I think it's real.
Supply and demand.
Yeah. Well, I guess
There's a
depending on the
need for
commodity.
something,
Yes.
and in that need for something, the price will change because of its need.
Supply and yes.
Because if we start breaking down supply and demand right now, you're gonna realize how ridiculous this reality is that we're in.
So that's the whole thing. So the
You
thing
sure?
about it is,
Because everything breaks down. When you start breaking things down, you start realizing how absurd it is.
so it's like, so what do we think? So the thing is, it's
You're the
like,
teacher. What's supply and demand? Teach. Help us
So it
out.
depends.
Supply
Yeah.
and demand.
What would you tell the students?
Supply and demand. It's based.
Wait. Who am I even talking to?
I don't know. Did you introduce us first?
No. Introduce yourself.
My name's Ulrich.
I am Dr. Surgeon.
All right. We got a real MD and a real educator over here. I've done my best to bring you premium black news. I wasn't looking for two bullheaded men. That's not what happened. I was looking for, the Rubik's Cube. And the Rubik's Cube got a lot more sides to it, so maybe we'll be adding people. Who knows? But let me just say this. Supply and demand is what we teach in school to children. We teach them supply. We don't teach them how to organize money.
I don't know if we teach children that. I don't know if
High school kids get taught that. Junior high, I'm sure. Supply. I remember being taught that in
I'm trying to
seventh
think of
grade.
when-
Supply and demand.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm not sure if when I remember learning it in school specifically.
I think it's
I think it's on my
is
study
a,
notes,
is a
yeah.
capitalistic type of idea, and it works in a capitalistic world. And that supply and demand, you could talk about it, a raw supply and demand, something that you need to survive. If that amount of it is less, and well, we have to get beyond this. There's supply and there's demand, but what kind of drive one another? That's kind of the thing. So that supply, its value might go up, as the demand go up, and that supply and the demand, they inversely associated. So the less supply that you have, the more it's going to be valued for those who demand it. Now, and the opposite is kind of like true too. So the thing about it, even if everybody needs it, if it's readily available, then the value of it is kind of goes down because everybody could just walk out and get it, and that holds true for most things. But then you have things that could be manipulated. So it could be supply that's there, and then they create a demand within the folks. Kind of like, since we're talking about Valentine's Day, like the engagement ring, the diamond. Before, the diamond wasn't anything, And the thing about it is a whole campaign was created, a whole campaign was created to make that piece of rock to folks who had cultivated it, and there was no inherent value in it whatsoever. And like, what could we do with this special little stone that's different, but nobody give a damn about it? So now, deals were worked out with back then, this is like in the early days of TV, special plans were made to try to get every program to have a situation where the guy, there was engagement, the guy got down on one knee with this thing with the diamond. So now all the women wanted the diamond and they weren't really getting engaged unless
The girl's best friend.
Yes, exactly. So it became this thing, so that could be, manufactured demand, and all of a sudden, there's a desire for this thing, and they slept with the price tag.
So is that why you think? I agree. That was a kind of clear, straightforward definition. But what you said about diamonds being a manufactured version of supply and demand? Is that why you think supply and demand doesn't make sense at all?
Well, so supply and demand is a construct. Supply and demand is a construct. We will construct an idea for you to believe that you want it, and then we will problem, reaction, solution it on every aspect of it, which is the Hegelian dialectic. Hegelian dialectic is all what the stock market is about. It's all about what investing is about. It's all about having a problem, creating a solution, and controlling the reaction. Or problem, reaction, solution. Because you start acting a certain way. Like there was a doll when I was a kid that there were women fighting in the aisles for this doll. And then they realized we need to create a doll that everyone is going to fight for every year. Because we can't have this one doll that's made by this small company here. And now this doll is selling for $89, right? Every other doll sells for $29. This one is selling for $89 because it's going to be very difficult to get this doll. And everyone is going to want it. So now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get a bigger company to make enough dolls where we can have them on deck. We're going to charge $89 for it, even though the only reason why it was $89 is because it was a small company that made these dolls. So because it's a small company, you have to pay people more. If you pay people more money, then you got to charge a little more than that. We're not going to China. But yet you got this other company. All their factories are in China. They're going to create the same exact style doll. We're going to create the same exact style frenzy, create and control the way a person gets it, and we're going to now charge $89, where we now are getting it actually cheaper. We're getting it, this company, we're getting it cheaper. We're going to create it cheaper, bring it to the people cheaper, and charge as much as a small business will do. So what does that do? That destroys that small business. It becomes the Borg, and it just destroys them on this concept of supply and demand. But what they did was they recognized that if every year we can create a new doll, a Tickle Me Elmo is next, Cabbage Patch was maybe first, but at the point is that supply and demand is almost non-existent unless you're dealing with like Etsy. Etsy is it's a company that people are creatives, and they put these small guys are like making big bank. They're making tables like this, and polishing them up and selling them for like $30,000-$40,000, like wooden tables, and people are getting creative there. So there is a supply and demand. It's more like, instead of supply and demand, it's respecting one's craft. If we respect one's craft, then you pay according to it. A capitalist society where it's value for value, you're paying for the craftsmanship. That's more of a supply and demand to me, the craftsmanship.
You guys see like the transition that kind of like occurred, and this idea kind of like morph and grows, and every time you look at what we call like a simple concept, then you see the mind of men injecting. So where I would say probably Oric kind of like started at and talked about is the raw supply and demand of something that you actually need. Say, listen, we have 3 apples and 10 of us want it. So now it's like, hey, the price of the apple go down. So it's very raw, material thing you can put your hand on. I got to the point of what I was talking about is recognizing that is very true, but then you may have 3 pieces of rock that didn't mean nothing to the 10 people, and you could be convinced that, okay, you might want this piece of rock.
No.
And now, then we talk about the mind of men further going into it, and now the 3 pieces of rock, somebody might say they did some work to create these 3 pieces of rock, then you have somebody else that come in and they create these rocks someplace else where there's a whole lot of rocks and doesn't mean nothing to them at all. So it's devalued, but at the same time they still manipulate because they don't want to bring all those rocks over here because then it would decrease the value. Right. So they still kind of like leave it out there where it's something that everybody can't get their hands on, readily and stuff like that. So
No.
the mind of man keep on working further.
It's like the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah, to
You
kind
know,
of to
yeah,
play
sorry,
on it,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's like, mind of man working further and further, to take advantage of the other guy, and this is a concept that, that's relatively new in our existence, because there was a point in time where we did not care to really that, because we really did, engage in harmony. When we talk about, since we're on Valentine's Day then also, there was a point in time where, forever and ever, the number of men compared to women have always been lower. So men was always like in demand and so on and so forth, and parents used to relish about having a male child and all these other things.
You said Welsh, right?
Yeah.
Well, they would Welsh. Parents would Welsh about their children,
No, that's
their
not-
boys. I thought that's what you said, but I thought that's in
It sounds-
context. Yes,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
That sounds good.
So,
like if there's a boy, they'd be very proud.
Relish.
Relish.
that's what I said.
Yeah, right.
So
Relish.
having a male child and so on and so forth, and so say if we have 3 million women and we have 1 million men, the idea would be supply and demand, and then ideally, with today's concept, 2 million women would be out, off to themselves to live by themselves and so on and so forth. But from where we came from in the past, everybody would still be all right. Everybody would still be provided for and taken care of. So the idea of the supply and demand of that end kind of like disappears when you talk about true love, when you talk about where we come from and what we initially kind of like, brought to the earth.
With your numbers, women should be lining up the streets with roses, handing them out to men getting off the train.
Well, see, if you're making it make sense, it would look something like that.
Wait, all right, well, all right, let's try to make
You know
this
what
make,
I'm-
let's try to make this make sense. All right, are you trying to say that, supply and demand doesn't exist? If that's your case, then capitalism doesn't work. And I feel like, are you agreeing that supply and demand does exist because it occurs naturally in humans and it occurred naturally in the past with humans, with men, with there being a scarcity of men, and then women, them having a higher value because of its scarcity and women flocking to them?
What I'm saying really is, if we really catch it, as our consciousness increase, the idea of supply and demand disappears. Our consciousness was ahead of what
That's
we
a
had
hell
now.
of a point right there, bro. I
So,
don't know if
and-
Ulrich can even understand that.
And as our
I
consciousness
think I understand.
decreases,
You're not ready, Ulrich. You're not ready for that part.
and as
right
our
there.
consciousness
I'm not
decrease,
even used to the doc talking like that. I
so-
mean, on a one-on-one he talks like that, but on the pod, rarely do I hear him talk about that.
so
So you're
The
saying that
more you elevate your brain in a higher consciousness, the less you are going to need and be affected by any supply and demand whatsoever.
and
Well-
the more you get trenched into it, the more the supply and demand become concrete to you in your life.
Yeah, but demand is created by the need of the people, or the need of the market. That's the only reason there's any kind of demand. So you can't, no matter how much advertising and how much money you can pump into something, people can still decide not to buy it.
Right.
The reason that, but the reason, like, there are things that are like that we have that are necessities that they've made it, that have, I think, hurt supply and demand, like phones, like cell phones. Now that you need a cell phone, you're incentivized to buy a cell phone because
Right.
everything almost everything that has to be
That-
done, and you have to use a cell phone for. So it doesn't, it's not even like market based, it's culturally and society.
That's a-
and
that-
Can I say this?
Yeah.
The problem with what you're saying is you're using logic. Okay? What we have to recognize is that this Valentine's Day thing has very little to do with logic, and it has a lot to do with capitalism and pushing a holiday on the people and commercializing and planting in the mind. But here's another problem, though.
Wait.
Wait. No, let me finish my thought. Thank you. It is evil. There's forces involved in making you feel guilty for not getting those flowers. It's not just the commercials.
Yeah, no, I know.
It started off as Greek gods This is pagan holidays.
No, well, Valentine's Day, actually, I had to read this up today. Valentine's Day started because the English and French, they observed on February 14th, they realized that these birds, they would observe mated. And that's why the idea of
That's a
romance
lie.
came from. That's, well, I mean, that's the
And they want you to
history
teach that to the student. They say, here, read this before you start your day.
I mean,
Tell that to these
I mean,
kids.
if you're saying that holidays and celebrations are lifted up just so you can continuously sell people that holiday and sell people what you had to buy for that holiday, I agree with you. I'm not lying about that, but that doesn't invalidate that supply and demand works as an economic philosophy. You can say that
Philosophy, yes.
No, your
Real world.
criticism is against advertisement and manipulation of the market.
Am I criticizing it?
Yeah, that's what you criticize, because you're saying we are forced to think and we're forced to need and we're nudged
No,
to
no,
buy things
we're not
simply
forced.
because it's a holiday.
No, we're not
nudged,
forced. What's
nudged.
happening is there's a spiritual war going on. Okay? And in this spiritual war, there's been history on frequencies and the way things are moving. And the way things are moving is through these holidays. It's not just a merchant's day to make a bunch of money. This is not just another day for us to all these roses that are coming from all around all around South America, feeding this whole world, that are being brought in on refrigerated trucks, just like the strawberries and the cherries are all being brought in by refrigerated, not trucks, refrigerated trains that are 200 trains deep, supplying the whole world with this idea. Sir, there's rituals going on here with these flowers and these candies and this idea of Valentine's Day. The title of the show, can I please tell you?
Tell me.
Is Valentine's is Dead. Prove me wrong.
Is Valentine's
No,
dead?
Valentine's is dead. Prove me wrong.
Valentine's Day is dead?
It's dead. It's over.
I'm not sure. I mean, you know what?
I'm-
I put it like this. I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. Once upon a time, I'd probably go out on a dinner or something like that, and so on and so forth. But I really don't do that stuff. It's been a while since I've kind of really embraced that. But it goes.
When's the
hand in
last
hand.
time you gave women flowers on Valentine's Day?
Well, I don't think I ever really did that.
When's the last time you gave a woman candy on Valentine's Day?
I don't think I ever did that either.
When's the last time you gave a woman the D on Valentine's Day and used that as your Valentine's Day gift?
It might have just been a random February 14th that just happened to happen.
Okay. That's kind of cool.
But
When's the last time you received a Valentine's Day gift, sir? You was given a Valentine's Day gift. Doctor, surgeon, the people's doctor. When was your chocolate and roses given to you?
I probably received something like that maybe about 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Maybe, yeah.
And how was it received? Was it mailed to you at work?
No, it was just kind of like, here, I thought of you and provided that.
So someone came to you on a Valentine's Day with a Valentine's Day gift.
Right.
And was it a card?
I believe it was some candy and a card.
Candy and a card, no flowers.
No flowers,
How big was the candy?
no. It was sizable. I mean, it was one of those box of
Assortments?
chocolates. Yeah, one of those.
From the Rite Aid or from Macy's?
It was. I'm not sure it was Macy's, but it definitely wasn't Rite Aid.
It wasn't Rite Aid, so it was
it
like Food Emporium,
It was. I don't
the
know.
Whole Foods.
Yeah, I think better than. I'm feeling $70-$80.
$70-$80 on chocolate.
Yeah. No, it was.
What?
Yeah, it was one of those type of things.
So we're talking about, you said substantial, sir. You're talking about you could feed an army. We're talking 200 pieces of chocolate.
No. We're talking about quality chocolate, not.
Oh,
not
so it was like
quantity.
the dark chocolate.
Yeah.
And it had like little designs on top of the chocolate, little tiny sticks, frozen. All right. And did that turn into a Valentine's Day night romantic?
No, it turned into a thank you. But you're not really gonna celebrate Valentine's Day,
So you said thank you, but I really don't celebrate Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and I wanted to hold my little thing about that. Now that.
You have like you have a
No, because the
mantra?
thing about it is, it's not even like a
People.
mantra. It's just the fact that you pick the day in which you're gonna celebrate whatever it is that you have. The idea that I need to be reminded, this is a day I'm gonna recognize you and recognize you for what, for everybody else to say, I want to recognize you this day. Almost feel a little, insulted. I mean, and this is like not a new this is not like an old concept. This is like relatively over the past, 10, 15 years, 10 years or so, really starting to really take hold. But not doing the Valentine's, there are very specific days that I pick, and we have this very special day that nobody would be aware of. And we make it completely, we do all the things that we want to do. It's just not Valentine's, it's just not February 14th when everybody's trying to do the same thing. So I want to go to this really, really nice restaurant. We got it all planned out, and we have our day. It's a day that nobody goes there.
And you've done
We get
this.
the best service. Yes, exactly.
Nice.
So,
that's kind of cool. Oh, Rick, Valentine's Day is dead.
Yeah.
What say you? Prove me wrong.
I don't know what you mean by when you say that. Is Valentine's Day dead? I mean, is it something that I do and I participate in? Yeah, if I'm with the chick, why not? I feel like what the doc does is or what you do is y'all protest Valentine's Day. You protesting Valentine's Day is just Valentine's Day having power over you is just as much as if you engaged in it. The only now I don't celebrate Valentine's Day because I don't even care about it, but I do placate a woman's need to feel like she's I don't know, she's there on that day or she's not invisible on that day. It's not like I'm a nice guy for most of the relationship, but
You are a nice guy for most of the relationship.
no, not necessarily.
So you're saying you're not known for being like this great boyfriend.
Yeah, not necessarily. No.
So
but
why say that part?
placate.
I'm curious. Why say?
I'm
Oh, because there's some guilt about the relationship that you'll go out a little more.
No, it's not. No. It's not about guilt. It's about. I'm saying I'm not normally that indulging or necessarily giving, but I do make the decision to choose to be somewhat giving on that day.
It's interesting that you say
Yeah.
you're not a good boyfriend, though. What is that like? Why put yourself out there like that?
Okay, because it's in my. Because I'm just saying I'm not. What? I'm trying to put the right word. I'm not normally that accommodating, but I do make the choice to accommodate their feelings for things like Valentine's Day. Because regardless how cool they seem, inside their head they're having all kinds of feelings for that entire day. But
So
they,
you
they
bow
may act
down.
cool.
You bow down.
Huh?
You take one on the chin.
I don't know what taking them on the chin for. I don't know how elaborate you think it is. I may take a chick to dinner or something.
But
Or- or I
Valentine's
might-
Day you have to
order
make
dinner.
reservations. You can't get dinner.
I don't know if I've ever made reservations for Valentine's Day, but I've been out on Valentine's Day. I've never. I don't. There's not many times I've made reservations.
Right.
In my life, but I.
So do you go to places that there are reservational spots, or you just a little right under the reservation section?
Probably the latter.
Yeah.
I don't really.
Like
it's
you,
not
Doc, you go to reservation spots or spots that you don't need reservation?
outside
Go
of
both.
Valentine's Day.
Both. I mean, it all depends if the place interest. I mean, a lot
Not
of them,
Valentine's Day. I'm just talking about the regular.
Yeah, I mean, so certain places request a reservation, other places don't. Some places have it, but you can choose.
Yeah,
to.
we all know that.
Yeah.
What about you? What part of you
No,
know?
so I fall all over. It depends on the place. Yeah, I mean,
So in a
I'll
month's
I'll go to
time,
a
how
place.
many reservations are you making in a month?
Quite honestly, now maybe one,
One.
maybe one,
Okay.
1 or 2. Yeah.
And Ulrich, you've never done a reservation.
No, it's not that I've never done reservation. Actually, I probably did a reservation relatively recently, but that was probably the first time I made a reservation, and it wasn't necessarily an expensive spot. But that was that. I don't remember the last time I had done it even beforehand.
And this is recent?
Yeah, somewhat recent, yeah.
Post breakup?
Yeah.
You made a reservation, had a dinner? Had like a meal with someone? and when the bill came, who paid the bill?
I paid the bill.
You paid the whole bill?
Yeah, I paid
You've
the
never
bill.
talked about this. This is interesting. Oh, Rick, did this just happen?
Seen just
Like last 2-3 weeks?
I guess so, sure.
Oh, okay. Now it's making sense. You've held back. It's good to hold back from your
Anyways,
friends.
it's held
You ain't
back.
got to tell your friends every part of the the friendship.
Anyways.
You know.
I don't know shit talking.
But you know what? You said something
Thank you,
earlier
Doc.
that
Good time.
you said something earlier that's kind of that bears some going into, and is there a level of rebellion? I don't know if I'm going to call it that, but it's a level of recognition on what's kind of like trying to move my peace, what's trying to move, what's trying to capture
Right.
my tea and for what.
Right.
What's trying to capture my time, energy, and attention, and for what? And
That's T, y'all.
And they
Time, attention, and energy. Wait. Time,
the T.
I think it was.
energy, and attention.
Right.
Time, energy, and attention. I literally got stuck just now. I wasn't like waiting for you. My brain was like, huh? But this is something that here at the Premium Black News, we like to talk about breaking news and things that we're like coming up with on our own, like our own mantras and our own things that we say. Because it's easy to quote others, and it's also easy to steal from others and not give them credit. It's something we don't want to do here. And it's T, which
Yeah,
is
T.
time,
energy,
energy,
and your
and
attention.
attention.
And that's the only real
So you don't want to be
currency,
giving up your T. How to do that? With the finger up?
And that's an idea of that's your real currency. That's the thing. That's the only thing in life right now that's really worth something, and it's your T. And they're trying to convince you to exchange your T for everything. And one of the main things now is try to exchange your T for some dead guys on a piece of paper, and that's what people are spending their T on. Those dead guys on a piece of paper is really worthless, but what they're being exchanged for is that T that you're providing in some way or fashion. That's what it's being called for.
Doc, you're like really cerebral when it comes to like picking your mates and really like relationships and like really picky about when you want to do stuff. Does that take away from like the kind of I don't know, connection or kind of loving feeling? Because it's hard when they check all the mom boxes and the loving boxes. You know what I mean?
No, I think it happens naturally. And the thing about it is, this is what's operating in the background as you kind of like lead your life. So you don't step with it. The thing is, you're going to lead your life. And this is where the idea of, person, submitting and following and all these other things, and somebody, you're not trying to lead anybody. You're just leading your life.
Oh,
And
yeah.
somebody may find it, you're doing such a great job, they want to follow. So they choose to follow. So they allow you to be the head. They allow all that stuff because it's in their best interest.
Yeah. So what if someone follows who doesn't align directly with what you're looking for?
They can't be there.
Period.
That's the vetting process.
On period.
That's the vetting process. Because they can't see what you see. So,
Yeah,
so ultimately, they can't really be of, great partnership. They can't really be a great helpmate if they don't believe in what you're trying to do.
Yeah, but connection and vetting don't always align. So that means
Yeah,
you're
but connection is nothing but a feeling. Come on. That je ne sais quoi. We connected. Oh my goodness, it was so cosmic.
And
Yeah,
I'm not talking about cosmic.
But
I'm not talking about marriage.
The connection for you changes as your mindset change, as your age change. So before the connection, I'm really connected because I really love the way she looks. But now I'm really connected because she gets where I'm going. She sees it and she's playing that part. She's
Right.
making me feel like she could really be a real helpmate. So now that's making me feel connected.
Yeah, but once a girl's in love with you, she's probably going to follow for most cases, unless
Well, the thing about it is you have to be convinced that, that's because she leads with that. She leads with the feelings. They don't come in later, so the feelings is there. I really like you and so on and so forth. But now you like me, but then if I don't give you a direction where I'm going, I may never know where you really stand. You may not ever really know where you really stand. So that's where the idea comes in. Your girls will more than likely wrap up with the idea of 214 as this is the day that somebody's going to tell me that they like me. That's because you're just out there in the world and you have no guidance. But you're with me. The day I tell you that we're going to do that is this day.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
So, and the thing about it is, and I get to do that because you trust what I'm doing. I don't need somebody else to tell us when we want to celebrate this day.
It's
Why are we
ridiculous.
doing that? Why?
You got to move in just a little bit more, Don.
So why are we doing that?
Can I
So-
tell a story?
So it's interesting. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell a quick story. I was dating this woman who was super, super, super smart, very intelligent woman, worked in the office, right? And I went over to 135th Street to the flower shop on 135th Street and Adam Clayton Powell Boulevard. They've been there for 40, 50 years. They're still there. And I spent $75 to get these roses, and it came with the vase, it came with the delivery and everything. So they delivered the roses. Valentine's Day was on a Friday. So they delivered the roses on Thursday. And they were supposed to deliver it on a Friday, but they delivered it on Thursday. The woman that got the flowers on the Thursday was pissed that didn't get them on the Friday. And made a big stink, like, yo, I thank you so much, I appreciate it, but why you couldn't get them delivered on Friday, Valentine's Day? And I was like, I told her to do Valentine's Day Friday. They looked me right in my face and told me they're gonna deliver it on Friday. But no, they delivered it on Thursday, the same day I made, or I might have done it on a Wednesday or Tuesday or something like that. Maybe let's say I did it on a Tuesday, they delivered it on Thursday, Valentine's Day was that Friday. So now, I'd meet up with her at her house at some point. I don't know, I'm sure it was Valentine's Day, but I don't know, maybe she was at my place, I don't remember. But she never brought the flowers home. And I was like, you didn't bring the flowers home? And she was like, yeah, I know, because I want them to see the flowers when they come into work on Monday. And I was like, but I bought you the flowers. I didn't buy the women at your job the flowers so they can be envious of you. And she was like, yeah, I know, but you know, just the fact that if I don't take them home, that means I'm coming home to something bigger. And I was like, so you're telling me that you left flowers at your job Saturday and Sunday and don't go back to work until Monday? You missed out on being able to watch or look at these flowers. Mind you, the place, when she got back, they were wilted. Like, they were like bent. Because they were tossed long stem roses in an environment, that office environment, didn't, you know, when the lights were off, maybe the HV, whatever, the heating, whatever the case was, she got back to, I was like, and at the time, $75 to me was like, you know, maybe what $250 might be to me right now. And I was like, yeah, like something like what we pay for that dinner, you know, something like that. And
First of all, it was probably cheaper than that.
your dinner was cheaper than that?
Wait, what was it like? You
Oh,
said
my-
$250?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it was cheaper than the $250.
All right, good job.
What's the matter with
Proud
you?
of you, man.
No,
Proud of you.
no,
You made reservations and paid under
That's-
$250. That's a good look
that's-
right there. Good for you, man. Anyway, so now the next year comes, and the Valentine's Day was now on a Friday or on a Monday or something like that. Whatever it was, she was like, you gotta give it to me on this day, because it was like some sort of thing happening where no one's gonna see it but me. I was like, yo, I'm no longer doing Valentine's Day, man. Let's just get this understood. This is crazy. You care more about what people think and you want to be strategic. It totally turned me off.
So, but that doesn't sound like an epiphany. That sounds like she traumatized you so much that you never wanted to do it again.
Yeah, but I did do it again for wifey. For my wife, I did it again. When I met her, she was 19. I bought her big roses and flowers and all that for
I
that.
have a moment.
Valentine's Day for a lot of years.
I have a moment, and it's weird, and I think that might have had some type of impact. I'm not sure, but it played along the roads. And I remember it was this particular year, and I had you know,
My mouth is dry.
some friends that I was, you know, very, very friendly with, right? And as a result, I found myself on this day and the days before that I would do these acts, and I would feel guilt. I mean, not guilty. Almost felt like I did it, but I didn't really want to do it, or I did it kind of like out of
Like gestures?
That's all men probably.
I did it begrudgingly, and I think that was kind of like the thing. And then it was like, and I think it was maybe about 2 or 3 people I felt like I kind of wanted to just give something for. But the idea is that I remember that at that time period where it almost felt like I wasn't doing it because I really wanted to do it. I was doing it because I was kind of like, expected to show some type of gesture. And
This is the evilness I'm telling you about. This is based on Greek mythology.
So that happened like,
These love gods and all that.
so this happened a couple of years before, starting to kind of have this thing where there was no connection with the event. So
With
now,
the event meaning the
June 14, there was no connection in what I was doing.
February
during this
14.
event.
That's because it's not a ritual for
Exactly.
you.
So
Yeah.
now, so these days that you actually do create, you do have a different type of, association with it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but the fact that you're just participating in it doesn't mean you're owned by it, completely owned by the holiday at all. That you choose. In fact, Elvis, the guilt thing you said earlier, when I think about it, Valentine's Day is one of my few days to be nice. So it like I don't know. It kind of puts me back in the middle from where I was like.
That gives you an excuse, you're saying.
No, it doesn't give me an excuse. It gives me an opportunity because usually I'm not. Like I said, I'm not. I'm not necessarily accommodating or that like giving normally. And to be honest, that gives me that is on Valentine's Day is almost a time to atone or repent in a weird way. So.
Yeah, I think it's the. Oh, okay. Yeah, let me get that knife. It gives you a right to atone. Yeah, I get that.
Not a right. It gives me an opportunity.
Like an excuse. I'm sorry, I keep putting words in your mouth, but it seems like you're like super like overly sensitive of these words I'm using.
No, I just want clarity.
All right, I'm with you.
That was from back then.
This was from 2 weeks ago, right?
That was the one you had, that you brought.
This is from the apple I bought a month and a half ago? I'll be alright. It's very dry. It's ready for a pie. So, yeah, my mouth was just dry from that. But here's the thing. The numbers are horrible right now.
What you mean?
I have, for the last 4 days, been going to all the places selling Valentine's Day stuff, and they're all sad-faced. This is the year where you make the most money doing this kind of thing. Valentine's Day, flowers and all that. Valentine's Day is dead, sir. The numbers will be out tomorrow or in the next couple of weeks. They did atrocious this Valentine's Day. Atrocious. I went to the flower shop on 60-something Street and Lexington Avenue and talked to the guy for 15 minutes about how he don't know how he's going to pay rent.
Everybody's independent.
Valentine is dead. Changed my mind. You bet you can't.
Everybody's independent, and I think maybe guys are starting to think that. Trying to live. I mean, I don't know.
I'm so happy that this pressure is off of these men. I said it earlier in the pod. Women should be standing outside of the bus stops. Maybe not bus stops. You don't want a guy on a bus. You want a guy at least coming off a train. The guy, don't disrespect to the guy who's driving the bus. But if you're on the bus, then you just, come on. But anyway, so now if you're on the train, you ever take a bus?
Yeah.
How often? How often you take the bus?
I don't know, man.
Once a week?
He on the drive.
It's hard to say, man.
4 times a week?
I don't know. I haven't taken the bus in a while. I take the train currently.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a train. I'm talking about New York City, so forgive me for the bus thing. So what I'm trying to say is that most guys that are on the bus, they really don't got a lot going on. You know what I mean? Because if you're on the bus, you're driving right past people in cars, and you start saying, let me figure another way out of this bus life. You know, bus life is for like fat people and hurt legs, old people. You know, if you're young, you got to be like a kid. But if you're like 32 years old on the bus every day is your commute, and you got problems. You're making bad decisions in your life. You know, because you're driving right by the used car dealer every day. Like, damn, I gotta get it. That's how I got my first car. Because I was driving every day. I was driving by that damn used car sign. I was on the train, and I just kept seeing it. I was like, gotta go over there. One day I got off that stop. That wasn't my stop. I got off the stop and I went over there, and within a year I was in a car. Well, less than a year I was in a car. But anyway, I see that people they're not doing it. It's not popping like that. It's not. Not in New York City. It's not. Maybe in mainstream media it might appear to be, but I just say this: if you feel any pressure by this holiday, it's because of the paganism of it. But if you're like Ulrich and just like, hey, I get to be nice today. I'm gonna be nice. We're gonna go out. We're gonna have dinner, and it's gonna be a great day. And I don't have to hear her bullshit. She's not. I'm gonna calm her mind down with my giving of niceness, and I can respect that. Because let me be honest here. It was hard for me to give up the Valentine's Day thing.
Yeah.
I actually had to sit down and talk with wifey and say, I hate this holiday. It stresses me out for no. She said, baby, we don't need this holiday. Are you kidding me? You gave me flowers so many times a year.
See?
I don't need this. What are you doing? This doesn't mean anything to me. We don't have to do any of this stuff, babe.
Well, always just saying he don't like being nice. So it's like, well, this is the day, like, well, all right, so I guess I'm supposed to do that today. But it'll get to a point where, you set all that thing in point, set all that stuff in concert in your life, and you're going to have a certain point in time. It may be consistent, it may be different for different people, but if you could start living your life, you know what, my month that I'm doing nice stuff is May. So it doesn't matter, whoever comes into your life, you have them understand like May is that month, and they be like, okay, May is it is.
That's so whimsical. That's so crazy.
But it works that way.
Wow. Interesting. Well, I think it's dead. I think hopefully it'll be gone like Christmas is going to be gone soon, I'm hoping. It's time to get rid of these days, man. This is ridiculous. All right.
Okay.
I'm Big Elvis and Chef Rosenberg.
I'm Ulrich.
I'm Dr. Surgeon, the people's doctor.
If you got any value out of this, what I need you to do is hit the Cash App, hit the Venmo, that's $ Elvis Rosenberg and at Elvis-Rosenberg. And express yourself. Make me blush. Come on. All right, let's just take 2 minutes. We're not going to go through the whole chat, y'all. Let's see what this chat is talking about. Christopher Perkins, thank you. T. Riddler, thank you. 100 Acre Woods, thank you. Rob 3000ist, thank you. Consumerism. Christopher Perkins again. Valentine's Day is toxic. It's toxic positivity. Nice one. I love that. Toxic positivity. We need to put a pin in that right there. 100 Acre Woods. If corporations take a day out of the year and hypnotize women, then as a man, you should be a magician to manipulate that. Interesting. I like that. Christopher Perkins, Valentine's Day is gaslighting the public for their money. Absolutely. Utilize the ritual to your benefit and advantage. Oh, I just thought about that. When I said to my wife, I want to stop this, a lot of it had to do with they were making our kids give Valentine's Day gifts to each other at school. And that was like you would pick in the hat the person who's going to be a Valentine. Right. And I started saying, I don't like this. Right. This is like preparing our children it's teaching them from youth, from children to now. It's not even romantic. It's just what you do on Valentine's Day. Like now, should I walk into office if I work in the office and give all the ladies that work there a rose today?
Yes, that type of silly stuff. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, but
Somebody
then,
did
but
that
then they'll
today.
say that it was harassment, though. You gotta be careful with that. Christopher Perkins agrees with Elvis the Chef Rosenberg that it's dead. Steven, what up, buddy? That's Ladner. Have y'all figured out what the Spanish word
What would you mean?
panocha means? Did we figure that out, guys?
And then, I don't even remember.
It's
that
dead for
question.
sure. Valentine's Day is a ritual for sure for couples. It's a ritual for couples, yeah, and for children and for everyone around them. They gave Ulrich something to read today about Valentine's Day for the kids.
No, I looked up. I usually give them trivia questions sometimes, and I kind of put that up on the board.
Valentine's Day is DOA. Thank you, Christopher. All right, Steve Land. The kitty cat Pan Ocha will drug them dollars out of your pockets. Yeah, but that's what we're saying. It has nothing to do with the kitty cat. It's just in us as men to feel this need to wanna, is the word placate the right word? This ideas, it's like embedded in us almost. Taught to us. Keep doing real premium black news. That was your bro. Love you guys doing the purpose teaching. Salute. That's Ricardo Emanuel. I haven't seen Ricardo Emanuel in a minute. What's up, yo? I forgot this was V-Day. He said he totally didn't even know. What's this called?
Inflation plus independence.
Inflation plus independence. Laughing my ass off. All right. Thank you all. You are appreciated. We love him. That's a fact. At least I do. I don't know these guys. They're different. What do you think about Ulrich's shirt there, the Playboy shirt?
Yeah.
I bet that shirt got a story. Boom.